Are we really recording?
We're recording. We're at 3 seconds.
2 seconds.
5, 6, go.
Hi, FlossTube.
Hi, FlossTube. We're the Bougie Stitchers on take 2.
Take 2. I'm Jenny.
I'm Nancy.
And we are two sisters who recently, you say that.
Nope. We're going to take that out of there.
Yep, we're not recently. Though I think we're novice stitchers. We're two novice stitchers. There we go. We're working our way through. You got the girls settled?
No, it's all I can see on my camera.
Oh, well, I would have told you if that was all we could see on this end.
Better. Anyways.
All right. Well, we just want to welcome you, for those of you who are subscribers, to our number 43 recording session. And if you're not a subscriber and you like what you see, hit the like button. It helps us, and the subscribe button, and we appreciate it because we are not a monetized channel. So I don't know how we get into the FlossTube algorithm, but we appreciate any likes and subscribes and comments that you might provide. And we really had a blast with those last comments. We had, what, 69 people recommended to us, Nancy?
Yep. And the cooking channel.
And the cooking channel, which I love cooking channels, so very excited for that. But Nancy brought them, and I'm glad she left them because it gave me a chance to like kind of go through, subscribe, and find some new people to watch. And we appreciate that because everyone brings something to the table, and it's just fun to learn from others. But we always start with a moment of gratitude. You want to go first?
Well, now that I have it, because this is take 2, my moment of gratitude is the ability to gather, which I've done before, but this was kind of a unique situation since we've had COVID. We used to gather at the old Lakeview. Lakeview got a new school 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So it's not new anymore, but it's new to us because Jenny and I went to Lakeview, and now it's a Boys and Girls Club. But yeah. So the ability to gather and we sewed. We sewed on our sewing machines. And Emma got to come, and she brought her hand stitching. We got a new young lady there who was new to stitching, to sewing. I guess that's what we need to make this difference. But we spent Friday and Saturday, and we laughed, and we messed up, and we did a lot of ripping. There's frogging and quilting too. But it was just fun together. Jenny was invited, but she had to work, and then she had some obligations with her number 2.
Yeah, so that leads me to my moment of gratitude, which is the ability to practice being an empty nester. So Drew is in Costa Rica. Yesterday he was on his way to Costa Rica for his senior, it's not a senior trip, but it's their Spanish trip. So Mr. Senor Doak takes the kids on a trip through educational programming. Dan did one too, to Spain from Hawaii. It was a crazy trip, but Drew got to is in Costa Rica right now with his, like, I think 17 other students and some parents, and he is having a blast. In fact, he was at this morning, he was at the plantation, or the coffee roasting place, where Laura, who was in Costa Rica, who sent us the treats last year.
Oh
yeah,
is he gonna have to get that some more up? That'd be really nice.
I know, right?
Wink.
I left him plenty of room in his bag for, treats to bring home, but I don't know what he's gonna, or souvenirs. So he has a list though of everyone he wants to get a souvenir for. I'm like, make a list, because lo and behold, you will forget somebody, and you don't want to do that because you can't go back. So he has a list. But anyways, Steve and I are putting mushrooms in our food for the last, well, yesterday for sure, and then probably tonight too, because I'm like, we can have mushrooms, and I bought like 3 things of them because I love them.
When my number 2 left, we went on a mushroom frenzy.
Yeah, I don't know what like Dan used to be that way. Now he's kind of evolved, but bless you. But anyways, the weather here has kept us separated because we are getting a snowstorm that has made the roads kind of hard to drive on. So
because it rained before we got snow. I don't know if you guys did, but so then the roads are very slick.
Yeah,
a little too dangerous.
Right. So anyways, we didn't risk getting together, even though I was planning on coming over today, because the roads are orange to yellow, which means they're more yellow. I don't know. Well, this morning they were yellow at your end, but orange at my end, which is orange is one step away from closure. So we decided that maybe we just zoom, which means it's not going to be as fun or flow as easy because I live at the end of the internet. So as much as I love to say it's Nancy's fault, it's not. It's usually my end that does
I think
that.
maybe this time it was my fault because I have an older iPad and like we were like quarter way through and it was like every other word was like and you guys wouldn't have liked that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this works a lot better.
All right. So while luck is on our side, let's jump into FFOs. Do you have any?
I actually have two.
Yay!
So I have the Teresa Kogut one. I just finished it as a pillow. Just cheated and put a patch here. It's a rose.
Oh, I didn't even notice that was a patch, but I love the backing of that one.
Is that good enough for them to see it?
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. And remember my mistake up here, but I think maybe it's fine.
Yeah, so slow down a minute. I think it looks fine because it's the way your mistake was, it still framed the print. So put it back up for a second. I got my peepers on.
This side is a little bigger, but it's okay. Oh.
I don't think unless you point it out that anyone notices. Nice work, Nancy.
But you know what? I'm actually really liking this. Instead of the polyfill, I just use our fabric and look how firm it is. I mean, this sucker is firm.
Yeah. Are you talking like your batting or scraps?
Just all those little 1.5 or less strips. Yeah. I just stuffed it with this and
it's a good use of scraps.
I'm in the squeaky chair.
That's why I never move when I'm sitting at Nancy's house, because that's the chair I usually sit in. And I sit on the edge and I'm like, do not squeak. I don't want anyone to think I'm passing body gas.
This chair truly has earned its keep. I don't know why I keep it, but. And here are my Peter, Bonnie and Gobble Couple. Can they see it?
Yeah.
I really wanted to show this. And you guys, I'm horrible with names. One of our first gifts we received was this. Do you remember this, Jenny? And
from Teresa. Her name's Teresa.
I wish I could remember your name, but I knew that I was going to use it for this. And this is what I finished it with.
That's great. And so Nancy, keep that handy because I'm stitching on Bonnie and Peter now. No, not for in a minute. Because I'm using the same fancy floss and mine looks different.
Really?
My oranges are different. Anyways, we'll pull them out and we'll look at them together. All right, I have one fully finished, and that is my block party.
Very nice, Jen.
So I made a mistake. It's a mistake, but I didn't take the time to redo it. So this stitch right here is a running back stitch around, and on top here, I only used one. You're supposed to use 2 strands, and I used 1, and I didn't catch my mistake till I was done because the bottom stitched up really easy, and the top was really hard because that 1 strand is hard to get into. Anyways, it turned out okay, I think, still, but I was a little nervous.
Very nice. Did you get the fun pins?
I haven't. I have 2 that I need to order from just another button company. That's the pin. I have like 3 that have the pins and the rest don't. So, and then I need to decide if I'm going to do the coffee or the dog next. I can't decide. If I'm going to do the coffee, I need to dye some fabric. But that one is done. That's all I got for. I don't have any I don't have any finished objects.
No, you would have to actually stitch to get finished projects on my case, not Jenny's case, but.
Well, I got lots of stitching done this time because between work and the things, like I've had some time. So, all right, you want to go into whips?
Yeah.
All right, I'll start with Lady Halloween. Since I have a good zillion and you have 1.
Yep.
So, I got attack of the green string here, green floss. This is my Lady Halloween. It's a Jordan Purvey. Hang on, let me just pull the pattern out. It's right here. Yeah. Originally, remember, she's done in 3 colors and I've added 2. So this is where I'm at.
Very nice, Jenny.
So this is where the pattern, like right where her belt is where I switched to page 2. So I'm trying not to stop where there's going to be a line, so you can tell where I stopped stitching for the night and started stitching another time. So trying to blend it as I go. But she's fun to stitch on. I stitch on her probably once a week. I have not stitched on her this week yet, so maybe I'll pull her out later today. Or not, I don't know. So that's my first one. My second one is, so I had a couple that I had to rip out because I made some mistakes. So I just was frustrated and I came back here and I randomly picked something out of my Mickey Mouse bag that you bought me. And this was it. This is a sampler. Remember that
you had to go up a little bit. Oh yeah, there you go. Very good.
I'm not in love with it. I think that's why it's just not getting stitched. But I pulled it out of the punch needle and primitive. It was the very first one I got. And it's this one. It's Be Kind.
It is kind of a muted colors though. Do you think that's what it is?
I don't know. Well, first of all, I did the tea dye myself. So it's a little darker, a little more rosy. I think I used a Roombus tea instead of just a black tea. So, and then, I don't know, they're just darker. I don't know. I think I'm in a spring mood, and this thing I don't think I'd put out until August or September because it's so fall looking. I don't know. I did the that's what I was stitching on. And it's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's just not, as there's so many other things that I'm loving to stitch on that this one's just not it. But I did put some things in it. So last weekend we got together, we played games and we did family things, and Dan was here and Nancy came up with,
played games.
I did. But we did take a couple minutes to figure this one out. So as you know, I have already stitched Wonder Woman, and I'm sewing these for 2 girlfriends that I was in the military with. They're married. But one loves Wonder Woman and one loves Captain America. So I'm making this one more in the Captain America colors. And this one is Wonder Woman. And I just have to fill in this little spot right here. I think it's supposed to use like some type of fancy floss. I did none of the called fors. I just picked what I had. And I'm not putting any of the beads in, et cetera, et cetera. But where is, so this is it. The Meredith Designs, and there's beads and there's floss, and I don't know, but I'm just keeping it what it is. But I'm making them kind of on the same fabric so that they can sit next to each other if that's how they want to do it. But I want to get that done. I want to get
so cute.
I've got 3 more. You want to go, or do you want me to just finish?
Oh no, I'll just go at the end.
Okay. Oh, so get your Bunny and Clyde out. So I'm using all the called for floss, but not the called for fabric. So the only thing I changed from the called for, did you use DMC or did you use Fancy Floss?
I use Fancy Floss.
But look at how muted mine is compared to yours.
But look at also, which you can't see, well, I guess you kind of, do you see like the plaid? I use that.
Yeah, use the gingham.
Fancy?
I used Picture This Plus. No, what did I use?
No, what kind of floss did you use?
The Fancy Floss, the called for. I used the.
But you railroad, Jenny, I do not.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, look at your oranges compared to my orange. Look at how orange yours is compared to mine. Stick it up close.
Yeah, mine's way bright.
Yeah, and I had to change the purple. So that what color? Hang on. The Lavender Louise or whatever it is, I had to change to amethyst or whatever because you just couldn't even see it. So this is the second time I've changed. I had to change the fabric because the green wasn't allowing any of the green to show. And then I had to change the purple, but the purple wasn't a big deal. But I started stitching on this on Friday in the car.
Oh, you got a lot done, Jenny.
Well, because yesterday when we got home after we shoveled the driveway and we're old, we're like, oh, we should just sit down. And so we just watched the John Wick series because the new John Wick is out. But so I was brilliant. I want to make them, once I saw how Angi finished your Halloween ones, I thought I want to do too. So I stitched them apart, right? So this is how see where my needle minder is. This is how this one started. And this morning when I took it off my Q-snap, this is where this one started. So I mean, I've wasted a lot of fabric here, but I'm gonna make them into standalone. So, and then that is my Easter spring from Mad About Minders.
Nice.
But anyways, I think I'm gonna focus on this stitch for the next week and try to get it done so that I can have it out done for Easter. We'll see. I don't know. It might be finished, but not done. All right, I have two more. So we had a lot of airplane stitching because we flew from here to Denver to Orlando in a couple of weeks ago. And I worked on my Mary Mary Needleworker, but the blue is really dark. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see the Jenny.
Okay, well, that's what I was worried about. And of course, my husband sometimes just gives me the "it's fine" answer. And I was like, no, that's not the answer I'm looking for. Because when I tell you it's just fine, it's really not fine. So, so all I really did was get that filled in. And that was an entire plane ride. And I was like, I can't do anymore. I cannot do anymore. I put it down. So, but I saw Kathy on their last FlossTube has been diligently stitching away on her. So now I feel like I got to catch up. So between this and the gobble couple, that might be my focus for the next 2 weeks. I say catch up.
And Missy are at Kathy's celebration retreat.
Yeah, so I don't know how they do, but and so this other one is a gift. This is a gift that my friend Ruth, that we met at StitchCon last year, has sent me for my birthday. And she made me this amazing bag. I don't know if Ruth's watching, but Ruth, if you are watching, know that I've been dying to dig into this. And I've been dying to dig into this because there's some things I'm doing with it, but I had to get it all set before I could dig in. So I've dug in. This is on linen. Ruth is a meticulous stitcher. So when she ordered the pattern, because this is hers, she just sent me her kit that she ordered for her. She sent it to me with linen.
Good job for not really being experienced with linen very much. That's a good, Jenny.
And you have to be careful not to pull them too tight, right? And you got to be careful to count because all the threads aren't necessarily even because it's not an even weave. So anyways, I'm loving it. It's just making me very happy, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like, so. But this is Philanthropic Pumpkin by Hands On Design. Kathy did this as a limited release. Not everyone's going to get it, or you can't get it anymore. I'm sure people are sharing their pattern, but it won't come fully kitted. So, all right, that's, I think, all the stitching I've done. I think I need a nap. How about you?
Oh, I don't definitely need a nap. I actually need to wake up. This is my whopping. I finished this here last weekend.
I really like the way yours is turning out.
I'm kind of liking it too now. I am going to fill in this. I'll get the pattern here. I think I am going to fill in this little row right here. Nope, sorry. Let me just get the pattern.
In the lighter brown, right? You're going to fill in that row.
Yeah, with a color, like, I don't know what color, but I like it because the pattern is filled. Oh, I'm sorry, I had the wrong row. This is, can they see it?
Yep.
This is filled in here, but not in here. Oh, I showed the pattern, Jenny.
It's okay. It was really quick. It wasn't. If they can stitch that off of that, then they're really good.
But like I only got like a morning Except for, I might be ripping out, but that's all right. That little tool that we got, that's a little handy little guy.
I know Stephanie was a saint for giving us those tools.
Mine's probably already worn out.
I know, and they're on like back order. I've got two
Oh.
places they notify me so I can order more because I'm afraid to lose it one or two. But anyways, they're on back order. All right, you got any plans?
My plans is to really try to stitch more this week.
That's fair. My plans are to prep my Quaker, that my RATM, the Nutcracker Quaker, because I pulled the other material. So I need to make sure I have all the right floss for that one. Because I think Missy from Two Needles Pulling Thread, she had to order, I think Grace Note, where it's going to dye her because you need like a whole fat quarter, like it's a blanket. So she was getting hers, she said it'd be about 3 weeks, so I think I need to figure out if I've got everything I need. And then I think to work on those couple of stitches and to figure out which block party I'm going to kit up, either the dogs or the coffee. I think the coffee would be fun because we're going to go to our retreat in April. But I don't know. But I got 2 dogs right now and they're crazy. So, and then after that, so I'm going to do one of those, and then I'm going to do the F is for flag for the summer. So, and then I'll do the other one during the summer before I hit Halloween and Christmas. And then I don't know if I'll do any more, but those are the ones I like the men, the wine one is cute, but I don't know if I'll do any more. I don't know how many blocks I need, but they're fun to stitch. All right. You have any haul?
I do not have any haul.
I don't either. I want to have haul, but I'm going to let my husband get over the shock of having to pay our taxes first. And then I really thought since I was retired, not making nearly what I made as a 06 with 26 years, as a colonel with 26 years, I thought we'd be fine, but they didn't take a lot of taxes out of my retirement. So now we're paying them all.
Oh.
So we've adjusted all of that for next year, but to say that, it was kind of Steve thought that they should be taking more taxes out, but I guess he didn't. I mean, it's not my first year being retired. There's a lot of firsts for us. So anyways, my husband is going to fix all that for next year, so we don't have to take out. I feel like we had to sell a third world to pay that bill.
That happens.
Yeah, so there was no haul for me until my husband safely has paid that bill, and then I can haul away. Then I got to get ready for 3 graduations, so maybe not. We'll see. All right, Happy Meal. What do you got?
I actually have quite a bit of Happy Meal.
Awesome. I do.
This one is from Cheryl in Maine. I feel very blessed. I don't know why I've gotten chosen for her to give me 3 of these. She said she just didn't to get a card. I was just trying to take the letter off of it. So this one's the whale, this one's the walrus, and this one's the polar bear. They are just so cute.
Have you seen people stitching them up? They are super cute stitched too. Are you friends on Facebook with Hands On Design?
I don't believe so.
I'll invite you.
Okay.
I just love watching them be stitched up. So there's going to be 6 charts in total. She released 3 now. I think it's 6. The other 2 are being released in May. And then maybe it's 5. Oh, now I can't remember. I watched her. Now I have to go back and look at the YouTube video. Anyways, the last chart that's being released is PDF only. And it's all the proceeds are going to go to Special Olympics.
Very good. We love Special Olympics.
Yes. I think one of them's
I'm sorry, what?
One of those is going to be a puffin.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Oh no, maybe that's not it. It's one of those fun birds that, they're winter birds. Anyways. All right, what else you got?
The next one is Rebel Stitcher, the civilian sampler. And I truly like that if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. I kind of like that attitude. I think we should all have those on our desk. Like everybody who's in anything. Yeah. Because you are important. And then I can either show you your surprise or would you just like to be, well, I'll just wait for your surprise.
Okay.
She sent me this.
Oh, is it cowboy colors?
It is cowboy colors. And then a tea.
Oh, yum.
Yeah. I'm just going to show you yours, Jenny.
Okay. I'm happy. I'll be happy to see it new too.
It's Nebraska fan. Yeah, and you guys, there is absolutely nothing wrong with Nebraska, except for I just like to give my brother-in-law a lot of grief on it, along with the tea. And you got fruit tea blended with roasted almonds.
Oh,
I got black tea blended with orange cookie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Both sound delish.
And then, of course, a nice little note. And she just sent it to me just for a little thank you because I reminded her of the time change. And not the time, what zone, like time zones.
No, it was the day of the time change.
No,
Remember?
It was the day that they were doing the one with.
It was the common threaded stitcher.
Yes.
He was going to her LNS, but it was the day of the time change. And she said,
I got this nice gift. You're right. Well, we'll go with you're right.
I might not be right, but I think that's what it was. Because she had set herself up and then you got on and she's like, and you were like, hey, where you at? And she was like, not there.
Amy, our really good friend Amy, made me this. We're wearing a pincushion exchange.
Ooh, very nice.
And she wanted to have it before St. Patrick's Day. So I'll be decorating with all of this next year.
Oh, nice. In your dough bowl too.
Yep. A little lucky. Oh, I'm not done.
Wow.
Little pins.
Oh, those
for
are
this.
cute.
And a whole bag of Twizzlers.
You better bring those to retreat.
Oh, well, maybe I will. They might be gone. I might have to get a new bag. But yeah. So that's my Happy Meal.
Awesome. I have 3.
Ladies. You have 3 too?
I do. So
Nice.
My exchange came from Stacy's Creative Studio. Which I'm in her exchange. I'm in 2 exchanges, but this is the one that I've gotten so far. Our other one's not due to mail until the 1st of April, even though I'm mailing mine on Monday. But
talking about mail, I got 1 birthday bag done. I got Terry's quilt scent. I had to mortgage a house for that. It's okay, but
yeah, mail can be expensive. So the Feisty Stitcher is who I have the exchange with. And I just, the Feisty Stitcher.
She like it.
Yeah, on Instagram. So I open this package and I get this cute little Mill Hill kit with the beads and everything. So I might actually do this one correctly. Then I get this. I've just started making pairs. I watched Vanna Pfeiffer's tutorial, and so I've got like 7 pairs made this month. But I just love that, and it's blue, so I thought I'm gonna stitch these. Then I got this amazing candy. Very excited. I waited to today before I'm gonna open it. Then I got this cute thread pouch, floss pouch.
That is really cute.
It's got the cutest little foxes on it. And I know, but look at these little mice.
Oh,
I love this fabric. And then I got this cute little wool thing, pin cushion that says, and it's got all the bloom.
Cute.
And then look at this.
That's perfect for your house.
I know. I cannot tell you I needed this little bit of sunshine, but it arrived Friday and Steve picked me up from work on Friday so we could head right to Billings. And she's like, I think you got your package. And then I'm like, oh, we got to get home right away. And it took us like 3 hours to get home from Billings because of the weather. But anyways, and I was scared. You guys missed that whole conversation. That was in take 2 or take 1 where I admitted that I just told my husband, he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm scared. Like, I'm just telling you right now, I'm scared. I'm trying not to, but I was scared. I was really, because we couldn't even see the road. It was scary. It was scary to come home. But when I came home, that package was there and it just made me happy.
Very nice.
But also, remember we keep talking about, I'm going to stitch that Raven Queen. A very kind viewer said, I have it and I'm not going to probably get it stitched. So she sent us this awesome, and it was funny because we literally got it. The mail came right after we finished filming our live. And Nancy and I were together, so we opened it. And she's like, do I have to wait? And I'm like, yes, we have to wait. We have to show it before we can use it. That's an agreement we made with all of our fans. So Steve just drove up. So I've got a little sleeping puppy. So we just wanted to say, Karen, we are.
Yes, that's perfect.
And it's perfect for Nancy. She had 2 of these puppies. One passed away, but we still have Mater. And then
that's perfect, because that's almost Willie to a T, except for the flower, because she would never wear a flower.
She would never wear a flower, but you know what? She could wear a flower now. You could stitch a flower. But she sent me the Raven Queen. So I'm going to do a Mirabilia. Jody I love hers. I love watching the progress on hers. I'm going to order the fabric. It's going to be on a 32 count fabric flare. And I'm going to do it. She is just stitching her though. She's not stitching all of the other stuff. And I think that's what I'm going to do too. I just love the way she's coming together. So
and those are little witches that you have around your house at Halloween. She's perfect. So I can't remember if I mailed her thank you note or not. So now I got to send her a note. I'm like, I think I did. Either that or I know what I'm sending her. And so now I'm like second guessing whether anyways, I have to send her a note. Said, did you get a thank you note from me? Because I can't remember. And I know exactly what I was planning on doing, but I can't remember if I did it or not. Oh, it's one of those that I always feel like, I know there's a couple thank you notes that I have to do out. Like I said, I've been doing lots of things, but now I just got to get them out. And then the last thing I got was from Annie. So I had sent Annie a note. I got that too. Yeah. Because I was going to remember that. Oh, it's right here. Thank you for reminding me, Jenny. Yep. Well, I was like, I'm sure it's there. But I'm so excited to add this. Remember I said I didn't know I needed these things, and now I'm like on the hunt for them. And so these little, because it's easy to like put your threads on here alphabetically or numbered, and then this would be the start. So did you get Peter? Yeah, I did. Yep, so dang cute. I love it. So Annie, so this is Annie from the Proper Stitcher. Annie was one of those ones that inspired us. She started her FlossTube probably 4 or 5 months before we did. But she really encourages people to get in there and finish your stitches. So yes. I'm super excited about that. Finish your stitches, like finish them, like FFO them. And you're going to learn. Like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. We do a lot of ripping out. We do a lot of color changes. We do a lot of, we don't like this color, we're going to change this color. We have to fix this color. We learned about fancy floss and how you should, or over dyes, where be careful because your over dyes, they may or may not match even though they're the same color. Like there's lots of things Nancy and I've learned we've tried to share here, but Annie's been like a true supporter in us, so we just wanted to say thank you, Annie. Thank you. All right, we have some shares, so let me get my phone up. And this was from let me make sure. Yeah, they're here. All right, so So Angela Howard, you won blue. Where are they? I gotta remember what they were. Oh my gosh. I don't like it when you're not here because I never remember what I got going on. So this was the little bird. The little bird, thank you. The little bird, blue. So Angela Howard. Make sure everybody can see. Congratulations, Angela. Awesome. All right, so the next one was turtle. So Bonnie is turtle. So Bonnie, you won that one. And then the last one is
the newborn, and it's the cross stitch magazine with the newborn. And that goes to Mirror Packs. Oh, sorry about that. So again, we got hacked. No, I don't say we got hacked. I don't know what's going on, but they come on and they say they're us and they're saying, hey, text this number, all your information.
It
Don't
looked
do
weird too.
Yeah, don't do it. It didn't even look like something that Nancy and I would do. Please just, if we've said you're a recipient of a share, we're going to ask you to email our Bougie Stitchers at gmail.com or one of our Instagrams. And Nancy and I, those are at the end of the video, and Nancy and I are happy to we'll be in touch back with you. And know that we're going to sign our names to things. Like, we're not going to just let you hang out there. So please, I appreciate those of you that told us. Nancy and I were able to get on and delete their comments, but just know that as Niecy Lynn says, why can't they use their powers for good instead of evil?
Exactly.
All right, so then we have some new shares that we'd like to set out there.
Oh, Emma, she got her bag.
Yeah, everybody that won, everyone that was a share recipient last week, they're all in the mail. And I think everybody has received it. I think oh, and Arlene had a birthday. Happy birthday, Arlene. Like, she said, hey, thanks for getting this. Like,
Yeah, it was kind of like the start of her birthday.
Yeah.
That was neat. Good timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. So what I thought we would do is, because it is snowing the dickens out here, I thought we'd share some summer. So this
You
is
think that's gonna help?
Say what?
You think that's going to help?
In my mind, it is.
Then you go, girl.
This is Madame Chantilly. This is her summer. And then there's also this book.
And lace in a pretty face.
Oh, go Nancy. It's blue.
You're welcome.
I know, right? She sings for free. It's got all the flowers. So I thought that would be fun if someone wanted to do some smalls. So that one, if you want either one of these patterns, it's summer. All right, let me make sure I keep all this stuff separated so that we don't end up, if you're not into that, but you like this, this is it's so Emma, it's granitia. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, I'm not going to ask you to say it either, but we thought we would use the word, oh, yeah, treasure, because this is a Gamma treasure bag.
Or are you putting those two together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these two are going together. So if you want this, the key word is treasure. So summer, treasure, because these are both treasures.
Oh, yes.
Last but not least is lemonade. So this is one of those that Emma and I were both in. It's the quarterly stitch club from Fat Quarter Shop. We love the stuff that was being put out, but neither one of us were stitching it fast enough. So this one comes with the pattern, the fabric, the bag, and the floss, and the needle, and the needle miter. So this is lemonade, and lemonade is, we're going to say one word because I just want people to know how to spell it, because I feel bad if it doesn't come out, but it's Lemonade, one word, lemonade. So those will be for next week. All right, and then our BFF.
We're going back to Maine.
We're going to Maine. We came across this one together but separately. Like, we had no idea that both of us were watching her, but she's relatively new FlossTuber. Her name is Sarah. Her FlossTube channel is Northwoods, one word, Stitcher. And she cracks me up. She's like, hey, you need to drink your water out of a wine glass because it makes you happy. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Only I'm afraid I break the wine glass. But, you know, she's like, I'm not getting my water in. So I'm just walking around with the wine glass and I'm drinking a lot of water. So that had me cracked up. she's got some great suggestions. I don't know. I just, and her videos are, 20, 30 minutes and she's got like 6 of them out already. And I was watching them at work the other day because we had a slow day and I was, cleaning and I had my iPhone and I was just cleaning and watching FlossTube at work. She had me cracking up. How about you, Nancy?
Yeah, that I just found her about the same, and I told Jenny, we should, have you heard of her? And he's like, yeah, I'm watching her now. So yes, I haven't got all 6 of them in. I've only gotten 3, but maybe this afternoon. That's
yeah, because we're not going anywhere. It's snowing.
No, I don't even think I'm gonna go grab chicken for dinner. I think I'm just gonna do whatever I can come up with here.
Yeah, we did that on the way back from our stressful moment yesterday. We stopped and got breakfast because we didn't have anything in the house. And then we went to the grocery store and we came right home. Picked up the dogs from the kennel and came right home. All right, quilts. You got any quilts?
No, but I do have my last project bag.
Ooh,
going out on tomorrow.
I love it.
And this is my second one. I don't want to jinx myself, but all my corners match. I sent one out for Into the World on Saturday. So they should begin. She gets hers on Monday. But yeah, so I got that done. Number 2 doesn't watch this, does he?
No.
This is just a quarter.
I love this quilt. I'm so excited for Drew to get it.
Of it. I'm just gonna make 4 baby quilts. Can they even see anything, Jenny? Because I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. This quilt has kind of kicked my butt.
And it shouldn't have, because you're a really good quilter.
No, it was the grades, like, because they don't have the twin. I thought, well, I'll just make 4 baby quilts. The math, math used to be my jam, but now I can't even add 2 + 2. And yeah. So I have like 7 grays. So if you ever need a gray, I might have 3 yards of gray.
Great.
Yeah.
I like great for Halloween. I did. Oh, my rabbit fell. So Carter's quilt is done. It's pieced. I'm gonna get it sandwiched together.
Is that Carter Steven?
It's Carter Steven. It's my husband's high school best friend. He just had he didn't have the baby. His wife had a baby. So we went to the wedding. I got a new cushion for my chair. I'm getting used to sitting on it for Ranch A, but it's weird to sit so high here. So she was due in the middle of April. They moved her due date to the beginning of April, and then she had some stuff going on, so they took the baby early, and so he's here. We're so excited. Can't wait to meet him. He's a cute little booger. But and then I've just got like 3 quilts that I want to prep for retreat.
I do kind of have that lined up. I'm going to take 3 project bags to get done, because all my birthdays come in May. Like all my stitching friends, I think like about 6 of them come in May. So hopefully I can get them done sometime. And then I'm going to work on my challenges, because normally I'm done with my challenges by now.
Yeah, Nancy's challenges are done in January.
But they're not done this year. So,
well, one of them I'm going to work on my chicken quilt, and then I'm going to cut my second chicken quilt. I'm going to cut my chandelier quilt. I don't know, but I'm going to bring Mel's second quilt and try to get it pieced.
Nice.
So we'll see, but those will be forthcoming. And I got a little puppy right here trying to get up on the chair. And then our Wheel of Doom. So I'm recording on my iPad. So I spun the Wheel of Doom before we got started. And most stressful moment.
I'm going to let you go first.
Well, I don't know that I have a moment. I think I have moments that I am learning where I learn to handle my stress differently. Maybe I handle it better. But like yesterday, I was telling Nancy at the beginning of the last one, we were driving back from Billings, and we left. We had this big storm coming. We knew it was coming. You know, I love technology. I love all the information you get. And so we were trying to make smart decisions. Like, do we stay? We could not find another hotel room in Billings yesterday for Saturday night because there was a wrestling and there was a dance. There was a dance tournament. There's a wrestling tournament. All that was going on in Billings, and they all came in Friday night because it, you know, was an all weekend thing. So we did find a place where we could. So we extended the dog's kennel. To say all that, we decided instead of staying in Billings and shopping for the day, which is what we were going to do, we are going to go some antiquing. We are going to do some things. We just come home right after we dropped Drew off. So this is like 5 a.m, and we get on the road about 5:30, and we leave Billings. It's 34 degrees and raining. We get out of Billings and it starts to snow, but the ground still isn't frozen yet, right? It's still warm. And we get almost to Hardin, which is about not quite an hour out of Billings, maybe 40 minutes or so. And we can't see the road. You can't see the road. There's no snow plows. The plows they were out, but they weren't like in our area. It was pitch black because it's dark still. The sunrise hasn't happened. Nancy, I was so scared. And we just kept thinking, maybe we should pull over. But you can't pull over because you don't know where the edge of the road is. And you don't want to get stuck there. And Montana didn't close the roads. Like we had, you know, Montana 4 or 511 up, which is where it tells you all the information. And we get past Hardin, we're on the reservation, and there's some passes on the reservation that are kind of, they're not scary in the summertime, they're not scary in the daylight, they're really not scary at night. But when you can't see the road, they're scary because there's some downfalls.
And that's a very desolate area.
Yeah. And I'm not kidding. I just looked over at my husband a couple times. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm really scared. Like, I am scared. And he kept saying, and I love him for this. He's like, honey, we're okay. We're driving 25 miles on the interstate. We finally came upon a rig or two, a long haul trucker. And those were, at least that gives you the reassurance if something happens, like there's somebody there. But one had jackknifed. We came upon one that was jackknifed. We came upon another one who's just driving slow. And it wasn't until we got almost to the Wyoming line, which is like 30 miles from our house, right? 30 miles to the turnoff. Anyways, it was the sun came up and you could finally start seeing, and the plows were out. Like the Montana plow was out, the Wyoming snow, the plow the roads, they were all out. But it was scary. And so I think when you say the most stressful moment, I think it's all a reference point, because we can look back at it now. But I mean, even my husband was nervous when it was dark. When it was light out, it was better. But when we couldn't see the road at all, I mean, we're doing 25 miles an hour and we're just looking for the next reflector pole. Like, it was scary. I don't want to do that again. Like, I'm sure if you were 20 and fearless, it's fine. But at 50, I'm like, I'm not having a good time. Like, I don't want to be here. But I don't think had we waited longer in the day that we would have been any better off, because the storm is still here and it's still dumping snow. So, and the roads are, like I said, orange to yellow, depending on what area you're in. So what was one of yours?
I think I'm going to go there. Truly my most stressful, had no idea how to handle myself, was when Caden took his life. So our nephew, my brother's son, did take his life. And being here in Gillette, Wyoming, on that particular day, all phones were cut off.
Yeah, it was.
I contacted my mom. I got on a hold of Steven because Jenny couldn't answer her phone. So those were the two most important people I had to get a hold of. But then I got those 2 phone calls, and I swear to God, as soon as I hung out the phone with Steve, they cut the phone, the internet. And it truly, like, you don't know what to do in that situation. And I hope none of you guys ever have to go through that situation. But that was truly the most stressful. I get goosebumps even talking about it now. And it was quite a few, 5 years ago. Yeah. So that was the most stressful. Huh?
That was a super hard day. One, because you guys were there handling it. Mom is calling me because she can't get a hold of you guys. I'm trying to get a hold of you guys. Steve's trying to get a hold of you guys because we're all trying to figure out how to get there.
Right.
We can't get a hold of anybody, and we didn't know that, right? Like we didn't know because we were calling you. We were trying not to call David, inundate him. I mean, there was just, and mom's calling me, I'm calling mom. Like, I don't know, like it was just horrible. One, it's an emotional day, but two, not to be able to, and I don't know, like they finally came up like later that evening, like, but yeah, it was a bad day.
Yeah.
And you always handle everything with such grace. Like even when you're stressed, you don't get freaked out. Like
with stress, I truly believe that that's my God-given talent. There's some people that can handle it, and most of the time I can. That particular day, I could not. Like I'm like, so I'm thankful that the phone lines went out. As we didn't, we knew it. The phone lines went out, and there was just nothing we could do. So that was one less thing we had to do. We had to deal with the situation that happened though. And that was never, of course, fun. And there was all kind of emotions that day. And I don't even know if I could have dealt any better than anybody else, because I was a wreck. Dave was a wreck. My girls were a wreck. And it was just like, yeah. And of course, Leanne's family, we always have to take her. Leanne is Caden's mom. And yeah. So yeah, I'm still like, oh, about that. But that was my most stressful day.
That was a stressful day. Again,
I'm going to be honest, viewers. I asked Jenny to take it that one out. She says, no, we have to do it.
I think it's important to handle, that like these are real emotions. Like I think one of my most stressful days is when they thought you had a brain tumor. And then your husband had to drive you to Colorado right before a snowstorm. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we were all like, ah. I mean, we got a happy ending out of that one. She does not have a brain tumor, but she does have MS. Not funny, but because we know what we're dealing with, it's easier to think about. And I laugh when I get stressed. Like, and it's not the cutesy laugh. It's like an ugly like I don't know what it is, but that's how I handle it. Like, if I'm stressed, it's just my natural. I don't know. But I was not laughing yesterday. Yesterday I was just trying not to pee my pants every time the car slid left or right. So all right, so we've got about 2 weeks.
Puppy out.
Huh?
I think you have a puppy that needs out.
No, my puppies are in here wrestling. They just went out.
Ah.
So Walker has managed to lose all his baby teeth, I think. So, and Jack came back with a clean bill of health for everything. So
that's good. Did they ever know what was wrong with them?
We can't quite figure it out, but everything that was wrong with him seemed to fix itself. So we're just keeping an eye on him. So I don't know. Jack was having some problems. He came back from the kennel. He was fine. A couple of days after back from the kennel, he started acting a little lethargic. He was leaking urine, not peeing in the house, but just literally laying down and it would just leak out. So we weren't really sure. So we kind of monitored what he was eating. They tested his urine. They did all the sugars. I'm out in the snowbank at 4:30 in the morning, knee deep in a snowbank, trying to catch my dog's first morning pee. And it was ridiculous. And he's like looking at me like, hey, get off this business in here. You're not normally down here. But anyways, it was all fixed. And the vet's like, we'll keep an eye on him. But all his tests came back positive or negative. So, all right. Until then, if you were a share receiver or would like one of the new shares, please comment below with those words. Please be 18 or have your mother or your father email for you. And we will see you in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks is Easter. So, well, I guess we'll have to think about that, huh?
Yeah, we might have to skip.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because I work on Saturday before Easter. So Easter would be the first time. So we'll see. We'll either see us Easter or you'll see us after the Air Force Academy tour weekend. So we'll figure it out. We'll see. Until then.
June 4.
All right, before these dogs knock the table over, let's just say happy stitching, everybody. Hopefully next time we'll be together, but this is Wyoming and Lord knows our winter usually lasts until Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice. All right, until next time.
Until next time, happy stitching.